Hey petrol heads and future hybrid owners, welcome back to Supercar. We're diving headfirst into one of the most talked about new releases, the Duster 2025 Hybrid. It promises unbeatable value and efficiency, but there's a persistent rumor that could sour the deal: a jerky transmission. Is this just a minor annoyance or a fundamental flaw that makes this affordable SUV a bad gamble? Stick with us as we break down the controversial E-Tech gearbox, look at what owners are really saying, and tell you if this is the dream hybrid you've been waiting for. If you love honest, no-nonsense car reviews, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and let's get into the Duster. The E-Tech promise versus the reality. The Duster Hybrid is meant to be the master of efficiency, but what happens when that mastery feels unrefined? The Duster 2025 Hybrid, specifically the full hybrid 140 model, uses Renault's E-Tech system. This is a brilliant, clutchless multi-mode gearbox, which is supposed to be incredibly efficient because it cleverly blends the electric motor and the combustion engine. It's an innovative piece of engineering with 4 gears for the combustion engine and 2 for the electric motor, managing the power flow without a traditional clutch. The promise is seamless, efficient, mostly electric city driving. The reality, according to a growing chorus of owners on forums and social media, is sometimes quite different. They report hesitation, unexpected engine revving, and yes, a definite jerkiness as the car shifts power sources, particularly at lower city speeds, or when the car's figuring out whether to use the engine to drive the wheels or charge the battery. This isn't your traditional automatic kickdown, it's the complex hybrid brain making a clumsy decision. So, let's talk about what people really mean when they say the Duster's transmission feels jerky. I mean, we've all felt a clumsy gear change at some point, but is this actually something that impacts your daily drive? When owners mention the transmission being jerky, they're not just talking about some vague feeling of lumpiness. The complaints usually fall into 2 main categories. First, there's that low-speed hesitation, like when you're creeping along in traffic and the system can't quite decide if it should stay in EV mode or fire up the petrol engine. That's when you get an abrupt shunt or just a weird delay in power delivery. Second, and maybe even more frustrating, is this high revving thing. Because the system tries to keep the small battery charged, the petrol engine can suddenly kick in and hold high RPMs, even if you're just accelerating lightly. That makes things feel loud, unrefined, and honestly, not very smooth. Now this isn't really a fault, it's just a characteristic of the E-Tech system, but it totally clashes with what most of us expect from a modern automatic hybrid. Oh, and by the way, some folks have noticed higher fuel consumption than they expected, especially after software updates that seem to mess with the shift logic. Alright, so why does this even happen? Is it just a weird quirk, or is there something more to it? To really get it, we need to dig into how this transmission actually works. Is it an engineering mistake or just a trade-off? The Duster's E-Tech transmission is a whole different animal compared to a regular automatic or a CVT. It's this super sophisticated dog clutch system, and it's designed to maximize efficiency by coupling and uncoupling the electric and petrol powertrains. That's how it keeps energy loss to a minimum, which is why the fuel economy numbers are so impressive. But, here's the catch. This complexity means the car's computer, the transmission control unit, has a massive job. It's constantly predicting what kind of power you'll need, managing the battery charge, and picking the best gear ratio. When it gets that calculation just a little wrong, maybe because you suddenly hit the throttle, the battery's low, or you're on a weird incline, you feel that clunky moment. It's basically the sound and feel of 2 totally different power sources being forced to work together on the fly. So, it's not a fault like a broken gearbox, but more of a necessary trade-off for the crazy efficiency it gives you. So, is there a way to live with the jerkiness, or even fix it? Well, the answer really lies in how you drive and, honestly, what Dacia is doing about it. Fortunately, there are a few things current and future Duster owners can do. the most effective method is to adjust your driving style. Being smooth and predictable with the accelerator pedal gives the sophisticated ECU the time it needs to make its complex calculations. Feathering the throttle slightly when you feel that high revving state can often prompt the system to change up or revert to EV mode. Additionally, Dacia is aware of the feedback. Software updates, like the ones some owners have reported, are precisely what the manufacturer uses to refine the shift logic. While one update might fix one issue, it can sometimes introduce new quirks, as we've seen. The general consensus from long-term owners is that the system learns over time, and the driver also learns the system's quirks. It really requires a mutual adjustment. So, we come to the million-dollar question: does the Duster 2025 Hybrid's transmission make it a purchase to avoid? The answer, as always, is, it depends entirely on you. It's a deal breaker if you are coming from a buttery smooth premium torque converter automatic, or a well-sorted CVT. If you prioritize refinement, silent running, and perfectly seamless transitions above all else, this car will likely frustrate you. The high revs and occasional low-speed shunts will stand out. But it is not a deal-breaker if you prioritize value, class-leading fuel economy, rugged design, and simply need an automatic. For the price, the Duster Hybrid offers a package few can match. If you can adapt your driving style and accept the occasional technical quirk as the price of innovative efficiency, the Duster is a phenomenal choice. The jerkiness is a characteristic, not necessarily a catastrophic failure, and for many, the massive fuel savings more than compensate. Ultimately, the best way to know is to get behind the wheel. If you're seriously considering the Duster, a long, varied test drive is absolutely mandatory. Drive it in traffic, drive it on the motorway, and try to replicate those stop-start scenarios. Tell us in the comments, would the promise of great MPG outweigh the potential for a jerky transmission for you? Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change. With